Welcome back to the channel. All right. I mean, Necropolis is here. Cyber Weekend is imminently approaching. It is obviously time. We do this every month anyway. The best 6 stars, and we're combining it to Ascend and Rank 5. And the way I want you to look at this is the more they're closer to the tier above all, the more likely they are to be a prime Ascension candidate. Now, the more information we get, the better we can make decisions, right? And we're getting more and more information. I mean, today even dropped what the Valiant offers for the early access bundles are going to be. And you're going to see some changes in this tier list. I actually, and some people will be like, oh, so more champions make a lot of sense to Ascend. I actually think it goes the other way. We will talk about that as we go through the rankings. Now, the MC Illuminati, as you know, helps out with every single one of these, their knowledge, their experience, everything. Go support them. They are linked in the spreadsheet that is linked in the description. And also Misty K will be putting together a beautiful screenshot size of this spreadsheet, so it's just so much easier to have. And that is always put out on my Twitter feed a few days after the video goes live. But this week in particular, I'm going to try my best to get them out ASAP because I know people are going to be wanting this information. We'll go over the legend mainly while we go through the spreadsheet, and then the final things I want to go over are rules 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 1, always rank up the champion you enjoy most. I'm so happy because I don't watch just my channel, I watch a variety of channels. But over the last 3 or 4 months, I've seen other content creators saying this now. But what I've really heard them saying is it's almost my exact words of not only because it's a game, but because you're going to know how to play them better. And so when the things get tough, when the defender's tough, when the node's tough, when you make a mistake, you're going to know how to get out of it. And you will likely play a champion better that's in like my super premium tier than you would in the tier above all if you know how to play them better. I love that that's getting out there because it's not only making the game more fun, but it's going to save you items the more we accept that idea. 2, I am not listing a single champion that's in the basic crystal. It just, no. I've been there before. I was through the transition between 5 stars and 6 stars. It is painful. It is not fun. And honestly, I think you have a variety of options to rank up and ascend where you don't need to do that. And then 3, any new champion. I'll go over this a bit more as we go through this, but what I mean by this is, let's say you pulled the December champion, which appears to be Onslaught, right? I mean, it looks pretty clear. I feel, let's just say Onslaught. I don't think it's Santa Claus. Eventually, 7 stars are just going to fully take over. I don't think that's there yet. I'm very excited about Ascension because I love Battlegrounds, I love War, and I'm going to need those Ascended champions to go against these rank 2s and rank 3s. But I will admit that 6 stars are much closer to the end of their time at the absolute peak of the game than they are to the beginning. Well, when a new champion comes into the game, they still have to cycle through the Titan Crystal. So there's going to be a long period of time before they even make it to the basic. I think if you pull them and you like them, I think you should feel good about ascending them because you're going to get used, because go back and see rule number 1, the champion you most enjoy. It's a game, it should be fun, and 2, you're going to know how to play them well. Think that through. If you have any real serious questions on it, mainly probably my Discord is a better place to do it, but you can try it in the YouTube comment section. All right, let's go and go through this, because I do want to get through this so people can really understand and get to the nuance of it all. We're going to start with the Mystic class like we always do, and tier above all. These are just the best champions. Some of them will have the broken heart emoji. I mean, like, will we ever see them as a 7-star? I often put that near the ones where I'm like, I don't think we will. So if you want to get some more time out of them, this is a great way to do it. And they are that powerful. And in some cases, I think they're actually broken. Magic, you know, I do list a couple 5-stars because people are sending 5 stars. Magic's great. Rintra, right? It looks like they're going to fix him. I think he's still going to be very, very powerful. He's just going to match what his abilities say. Tiger and then Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man and Tiger are similar for me, though, in that you really need to know how to play them. We have in my other tier list, we have like the high skill emoji. They both require it. DLL designed Absorbing Man. My great friend, Daddy Longlegs, designed knocking it out of the park with his designs. Absorbing Man also seems to be very helpful in Necropolis. I'm hoping to get to my extra path so I can show that to you. In fact, I purposely chose my first path so that I could ascend my Absorbing Man. There's going to be my ascension target. And then I'm hoping to show that to you in videos for Necropolis. Moving on, the top shelf, we've got the top shelf. These are OP champions. I don't see them losing value anytime soon. Diablo and the Hood. Now, Clairvoyant is also in there. I don't think she's quite as strong as the other two per se, but her buff immunity that she can put off with her SB2 is insanely strong and unique. And I really doubt we see something like that in the game coming as a 7-star, much less Clairvoyant herself. And then Super Premium, Spidey Supreme, Mephisto, Longshot, Man-Thing, and Juggernaut. In all of those, Battlegrounds has played a major role in my thinking on it. And then that's our first Titan Crystal appearance, right? A champion that's in the Titan Crystal. I think, the Titan Crystal is so unique. That's why it's a unicorn. It's so unique, and we're getting so few of them. We'll know more after Cyber Weekend. Like if in Cyber Weekend, you are able to buy like 5 or 6, and you're probably having to spend quite a chunk of change to do that, then I might change my opinion. But I really don't think they're going to devalue the Titan Crystal quite like that. And so I think it's going to stay valuable. I think the champion is in the Titan Crystal. I think you can at least get some use out of your 6-star, especially if the SIG is a nice to have. I think Juggernaut fits that, but you really want to enjoy Battlegrounds in order to make that move, in my opinion. Look at all the other Mystic champions that you have available to you to ascend before you get to Juggernaut, in my opinion. But always remember rule number 1. And then Mojo. Mojo is in the Incursions Crystal, right? So there's a chance to be pulling him, but that's also a pretty unique crystal. There's only 6 champions, though, so the chances of pulling them are not that slim. We're seeing awakened champions from those crystals, so always keep that in mind. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Mutant. It feels like a good time to remind everyone that this, like you said, and obviously you're watching, you understand, this is different than the champion rankings playlist. That's just all the champions. Crystals don't matter, or what if they're or if they're available as 7-star or 6-star, does not matter. The best 7 stars to rank, we've done that for rank 2 and rank 3 because this is a different thought process to efficiently using your items. And then Necropolis is going to be a thing for a very long time. All the Necropolis videos are linked in that playlist right there. You can go straight to it from this spreadsheet. Okay, let's move on to Mutants, the Broken Champions, Kitty Pryde, Archangel. You want them awakened. Archangel really plays into it for me with Battlegrounds, but as we're seeing from metas, they're able to kind of erase him a little bit or really neutralize his effectiveness. Omega Red with that really high SIG, it's going to be a long time before you're getting a 7-star champion at a high SIG. And I really think that's going to be the case. And if you can do it with Omega Red, get some really great use out of it, it makes a ton of sense. Moving on to the top shelf, Apocalypse, Namor, Wolverine X, and Havoc. Now, Havoc is in the game as a 7-star. We just don't know what crystal he's going to be coming in. Maybe by the time you've seen this, and then you can go ahead and look at the legend and make a decision on your own. But if he's in the basic crystal coming in the Titan, I would hold off. You have other options here, in my opinion. Also, remember rule 3. Like if you pull a 4 or 5 mutant gem, you don't have to use it. And then if you end up pulling Onslaught, let's say, maybe use it on Onslaught instead of Havoc. That's something that I kind of wish I had done. Apocalypse, Namor. Namor is up there this high because, yes, he's available as a 7-star, but you desperately want him as a SIG 200. There's a lot of champions that do large damage. I know Namor can do large damage, but it's a SIG that makes him really stand out, and the utility that comes off of it. And getting him to SIG 200 is a whole heck of a lot easier as a 6-star. Moving on to the super premium tier, Red Magneto, Professor X Toad, and White Magneto. Very comfortable with all of them. White Magneto, the team building, so I could see a real strong reason to want to have him as long as you possibly can with that passive stun and the attack values that he adds and things like that. Magneto Red, I know people are doing a lot of great things with him. Every video like this, I get a lot of comments about the great things people are still doing with Magneto Red. And yeah, I think the important thing to keep in mind is how few champions are even on this list. And to keep that in mind, that being on this list means you're a good champion. You're a very, very good champion. What it is for me is that so many of the quests, so many of the war fights or battlegrounds or various modes that we play, yes, Magneto might be able to do some of those fights, but there's other champions that can do them almost as well, if not as well, and then can do a bunch of other things for you too. So keep that in mind with Magneto. Let's move on to Science. In Science, tier above all, Scorpion, right? I mean, I think people are even starting to use him in Necropolis. Human Torch, there's probably never going to be a 7-star Human Torch. I'll just say it. I'm sure you're not shocked. Quake, 5-star. If you want to learn how to play her, I think that makes a lot of sense. Quicksilver, Spider-Man 2099. SIG is really nice on both of them. They are very unique with the way they handle various things, especially ability power rate. I think they make a ton of sense. Top shelf being Cassie Lang and Mr. Fantastic. Moving on to super premium, We've got Thing and Silk. Now, these are up there for two totally different reasons. Thing is going to be phenomenal for you, potentially in incursions. Obviously, a great defender in Battlegrounds, Alliance War. He does have unique immunities, too. It's been a long time since he first came into the game. So, and Science has gotten so strong since. I think a lot of folks have forgotten about that. But if you've got him at high sig and Battlegrounds is important to you, all the things I've been saying about the realities or how realistic it is to get a 7-star to high sig apply right there to Thing. Now, Silk is the other way. A phenomenal attacker. The sig is really nice for helping some of those matches that you really want her for, particularly like a Rintra or things like that. Now, she is in the Titan pool, so you be mindful of that. Like, if I still have not pulled a 6-star Silk, but if I did, she probably is not going to be at the top of my list to ascend, and that's the very reason is I know that as soon as I pull her from Titan, I would probably wish I had ascended maybe my Scorpion or Spider-Man 29. But as we all know, having played this game enough time, you won't pull a Silk as a 7-star until you ascend her as a 6. So I don't know. You figure that one out. You tell me what's the right way to handle that one. And then moving into premium, Jessica Jones. The reason Jessica Jones is as low as she is because all it takes is one sale. And you tell me, like, would you really be shocked? And I mean shocked. I'm not saying would you bet on it happening. I'm saying would you be shocked if Kabam has a 7-star Jessica Jones in the Banquet Crystal this year? I know I would not be. Now, the chances of pulling one are probably going to be like 0.02% or something outrageous. But in a class as strong as Science is, you probably have a lot of other options. Void, Captain America are available in other crystals. The signature ability is more important to Captain America, in my opinion, than Void. Void's just that initial awakening, and then every sig helps after that. Morbius is new enough, and I think he's valuable enough to be on the list. He's going to, I think, enter the Titan Crystal in December, so he's not quite in there yet, but he will be there. iBomb, not available as a 7-star. Phenomenal champion. Sig is pretty nice. Spider-Ham, I think, is so strong that if you really love him and you want to do it, you put him up there. Same with Photon. I actually may ascend my Photon. We'll see how everything plays out because Necropolis and Cyber Week are going to make a big deal for my account, I'm sure. But there's a chance you see me ascend my Photon because I really enjoy her that much. For me, she is a perfectly built champion for this game. She's defensive oriented. If you're seeing war videos right now with her just popping off, a lot of that is the tactic. Keep that in mind. That is not what she looks like in just your standard matchup without some sort of node or tactic that's supercharging her. That being said, she's great in some of those matchups. I love using her, and I will eventually get out of Photon video. And then Spot. A lot of people think that the signature ability, I think we're at a point where this is all theory. For me, I think if I pull a 7-star Spot and get him awakened once, I have a feeling he's going to be outperforming 6-star because 7-stars are so strong relative to 6s, right? You got to play with the ranks here a little bit and stuff. But other people, very smart players, think, no, you need him at that high sig to get those results. And without taking him to high sig at 7-star, I'd much rather have the 6. I'm not as sold on that idea. I'm open to the idea might be wrong. And I think this is truly a time will tell sort of scenario. I would be very, very, very excited to pull a Spot. Let's move on to Tech. Okay, Tech, tier above all, the absolute best. Ghost, broken. Probably never seen her 7-star. Nimrod, I think really close, flirting with it. Extremely good champion. You can tell they're doing some things. We've seen this in Alliance War right now, where they're like, oh, if you remove a prowess, bad things happen. It's like, okay, that's cool. I actually don't mind that. I actually like that. If that I would prefer that than to nerfing Nimrod or doing something like basically just don't use Nimrod. I'm totally cool with that. I really am. It's a big game. I get it. And then Future Ant-Man. I think Future Ant makes a ton of sense. He's one of my few rank 5 6-star tech champions and someone I would very much look to ascend. Really, really phenomenal champion. If you still haven't caught on to Future Ant-Man, which is fine, not everyone has, make sure you check out BMcG's channel. Moving on to Top Shelf Division, her buff, she does have a very high skill ass, very high skill. I was very excited about diving into her. I really am. But the more I played, I'm like, this play style is so punishing. And I have other champions I'm enjoying playing. I may never really get into learning how to play Viv, which is a little disappointing. Maybe once Necropolis is over, because she's really meant for Battlegrounds and War, the smaller health pools. I'll dive back into that, but that's where I line with her. But I can tell how amazing she is. Omega Sentinel was really cool. I'm not seeing her used a lot in Necropolis right now, but when people were prognosticating and guessing, making educated guesses, which we all did, right? I think it was smart to do that. A lot of people were talking about Omega Sentinel because she can ramp up really, really nicely. She's a phenomenally built champion. I really do enjoy her. And she is someone who, now that I think about it, probably would be one of my considerations to take to rank 5, if not ascend. Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, especially if you like Battlegrounds, we're now moved into Super Premium. I know some people, O's fan, that's for you, buddy. I know some people listen. I tend to listen to a lot of videos, especially ones like this. We've now moved to Super Premium of Tech. Sparky, as I like to call him, especially if you're a Battlegrounds player, I could really see him being someone. He could move all the way to tier above all if that is your focus, okay? OG Iron Man, you know how much I love him. I'm showing that to you in some war videos of recently. Also, I did the rank 5 video. I was really happy to take him to rank 5. I very much like him. If I pull him as a 7-star out of that Titan Crystal, you'll see me be quite happy about it. I think he's good now. And I think as time goes on and you can get him awakened, it's just going to make him better. I don't think he needs it, especially as a 7-star in the way the game is now. Infamous Iron Man, I'm not a fan of his. I can tell he's powerful. Smart players really like him. I'm not there, but I recognize he's good. This is one of those things where, like, just because I don't like something doesn't mean it's not good. I don't like him. I can tell he's good. Ultron, Penny Parker, they actually have been moved down. This is what I was talking about. It's a little counterintuitive, but I think as we've learned more and we see the game continue to progress, I think how you use your ascensions become more and more important. They've moved down. We don't know what crystal they're going to be in as of filming this, but they are coming. They're in the game. I wanted a 7-star, particularly Penny Parker. I think Ultron Sig is going to be a bigger deal. And so as a 6-star, it makes some sense if that's what you really want. Make sure you're using that Sig, though, okay? There's a lot of options for you to ascend in tech outside of Ultron. Warlock, great champion. If you're using him in Battlegrounds, you just need him awakened once. Just once. So keep that in mind. He's in the Titan Crystal, but he'll eventually move to the basic. Hulkbuster, I mean, we're seeing what the 7-star is doing. And if Karate Mike, you know, I've been a big Hulkbuster fan. If you go and look at my general tier list, he's been very high on this list for a very long time. People will be like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And I was like, I don't think so, but that's fine. And here we are. Thank you, Karate Mike, for proving what I thought might be possible. I love it. Someone with the skill to pull it off. Nagase was putting out some great stuff too. And the thing is, this is a compliment to Hulkbuster because he's so good that I think he still deserves to be on the list, even though if you open up, I think it's the Incursion Crystal, there's a 1 in 6 chance to pull him and you're just good to go. The Sig is really nice, but it's the heal back and things like that. And then we've got to Lady Deathstrike. You know, she's fine. There's another champion where I really can tell she's good. I actually like her. I have a rank 2 myself as a 7-star, and I think I'm happy I did, but the Sig is really nice for her. So if you really enjoy her and you're looking for a mutant hunter, I think she's great. Just remember, she is in the Titan Crystal. Could be coming to you very, very soon. Let's move on to skill. Skill class in the tier above all. Now, this is an interesting one because as far as the best, for me, for sure, and hopefully you know this, I've been saying Kate Bishop's the best skill champion since July. Since July. For me, as far as it is a high skill ask. It is a high skill ask. But the results in short form, middle form, because you're seeing her in Grandmaster's Gauntlet too. And now in Necropolis, we finally got to really open it up. I did the 9.5 health pull and did that video. Guessed or estimated or predicted that she'd be phenomenal in Necropolis, and here we are. I'm showing you solos. I have solos I haven't even shown you. She's amazing. It is a high skill ask, though. But when you consider she's great in short form, she's great in middle form, and she's great in Necropolis, and right now, Kingpin, Fury, and Valkyrie cannot say that. She's also not a terrible defender. She's probably the weakest defender next to Valkyrie. I think that's the one you should ascend. I ascended mine quite a while ago. I've been advising everyone to do it. This isn't a victory lap. This isn't me being like, I was always right. This is me being like, if you haven't done it, come on. What are you waiting for? Make sure you like her. She is a high skill ask. But I think if I can do it, I think you can do it. Kingpin, Nick Fury, probably never seen a 7-star Nick Fury. Valkyrie, curious if we ever see one of her too. Even though she's not broken, it's just that she can get around things. Moving on to the top shelf. Masakre, I've awakened, ascended mine, putting out the videos, the showcase, using him in war. He's phenomenal. He's great. I'm not going to stop. I love Masakre, and I really think you should too. And one of the things, and some commenters on the recent video even said, they're like, thanks for showing how much incinerate damage he can do. Maybe one day we'll take him out into Labyrinth of Legends or something, really have some fun with that. Aegon does appear to be usable in Necropolis, right? And I don't mean that's a joke. I know I've had a lot of fun with the Zemo Gate and the Baron Vega and all that, and it is fun, but that's not the joke I'm making right now. Is, you know, I used, I'm sorry, I'm talking about Baron Zemo. We'll continue on with Baron Zemo, and then we'll go back to Aegon. Baron Zemo, you know, when you didn't have a bunch of Zemos, it's not as strong. I actually have not enjoyed using him in Necropolis. I'll probably sit down for the Mr. Fantastic path and really try, because that Fantastic fight is interesting, and I could see Zemo being good. So if you're going to be wanting to do long form content and you like Zemo, I could really see it. But I urge you to consider Kate Bishop instead, or Aegon. You know, I did the predictions video, and we had some fun with Cabro. Cabro saying like Aegon and units have never been defeated in long form, and lo and behold, Aegon appears to be an absolute unit MVP for this. So ascending him to make your runs more efficient, time-wise or potentially resource-wise, makes a lot of sense. Cam and Seaton. Seaton, I'm pretty sure you know who he is. And Cam MCoC, probably know who he is too. But in case you don't, follow them both on Twitter, of course on YouTube, really showing the way on how to get that done efficiently. Super premium tier now. We've got Stealthy, Moleman, and Blade. None of them are available as 7 stars, so I think they make a ton of sense. Blade is super unique in that group. They all are, though. And then moving into premium, great champion. Black Cat is available in one of the specialty crystals, so obviously you have a 1 in 6 chance of pulling her, but she is really good. Make sure you get that relic for her, though. Hit Monkey, not available as a 7-star. And then Crossbones. And I recently put out a video talking about Crossbones is excellent to pull as a 7-star. You don't have to have him at high sig. The high sig does awaken a whole other ability with the shrug and things like that. So I see its value. But what I want to make sure everyone understands is that he's very valuable even without it. So if you're using for the shrug, 6-star. If you're using for the ability accuracy reduction, only 7-star. Let's move on to Cosmic. In the Cosmic tier above all, we've got Hercules. I don't think we need to talk about that anymore. Hulkling, Gallon, Cosmic Word. I mean, they're all phenomenal. I think Hercules is the only broken one in the group, but you know, that's for another video. Moving on to top shelf, Adam Warlock. We're seeing him used even in Necropolis. Phenomenal champion. Maybe as people learn to play him really well, we may one day move him up. Then we're moving into the super premium. We've got Nova, great dual threat attacker and defender in Battlegrounds. Has some really unique immunities. The signature ability is really helpful. So makes a lot of sense to have him as ascended. And then moving into the premium tier here, we got Angela, King Groot, Cersei, Corvus, Medusa, and Null. Obviously, Angela is available and Null are available as 7-stars right now, but Null's only in the Titan Crystal. I think you want him awakened. Keep an eye on Campo and C's channel for Null use in Necropolis itself. Very exciting stuff. And then Angela, you know, I think Angela's got you're either a fan or you're not. I am not a fan, but people who are doing very cool things with her, like Dragon was showing us using Angela in incursions, doing really cool runs, doing the whole thing, right? Like level 25, I think it's called. So she's a phenomenal champion. If that's someone you're interested in, King Groot as well, to really bring them up. Corvus, I really doubt we see a 7-star Corvus. He's not used as much these days, but if you run the recoil and you have him at the highest rank, the damage output is immense. Okay, you know, that was this one. I did want to choose to talk about every single champion just because I know how much ascension and rank up resources are about to become available to all of this over the next month or two. So I wanted to go over, really understand people who only look at the spreadsheet or only look at the screenshot are really only going to have half the picture. And that can lead to some real misunderstandings. I see it in the comment section. It's still good, still a great resource. I'm glad and I'm grateful for people who take a look at it, but I hope you listen to the video. If you made it this far, you have. Let me know what you think we got right. Let me know what you think we got wrong. Enjoy your rank up resources that you've earned in your way. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.